Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. We are live from the Napa Auto Parts Studios, worldwide on American Forces Radio, coast to coast on lots of great radio stations. Thanks for joining us here in the Napa Auto Parts Studios. And we have a guest host with us. He is comedian Don Stuck. And we have been joined, I believe, by Mr. Roger Bigwood from the UK. Roger, can you hear me okay?
I can. Hello there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Where are you right now in England?
Well, I'm just outside of London, so lovely and sunny, so always a great day here. We welcome that.
Lovely and sunny in London? Wow.
It is. Yeah, I think we're beating the temperatures over there, so just by a little bit. But,
wow, nice.
Well, good. My sister's lived over there for, 40 years, so I get over there occasionally, and it's nice on a beautiful day in beautiful London, England. Now, your name came up in a story that's gone worldwide, Roger. I assume you're aware of this. I hope we're not bothering you.
No, not at all. My mother and father blessed me with that name. I think when I was born in 1974, they didn't think anything of it, or they were too innocent. So, but it's been a curse ever since. So
yeah, it does. I mean, Roger, let's just face it. Your name does sound like a name that might be used in a pornographic video, and something to be proud of, really.
Yep, there is. Well, there's no alteration to my name, so that's for sure. So,
Bigwood is great alone. If you were like Steve Bigwood, that'd be cool. But Roger also is a term.
It can be a verb.
Yes, in colonial times, right? When the United States broke away.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it means okay, come and get it.
Yeah, right.
Well, Roger can mean yes in I guess technical engineering slang, but it also can be a verb meaning to have an intimate.
Oh dear.
Hump fest. I'm sorry.
Say hello to our guest.
So
Roger,
I'm sorry.
I don't want that to get lost. What Tom said was Roger could also be a hump fest.
Yeah, he did say that.
Sorry, Roger. So Roger. And it's Mr. Bigwood, not Dr. Bigwood, but Roger is
That's right. Roger, that's what I go by. So no, I'm the clinic director. I'm not medical. So,
right. Okay.
You can have a laugh with me. Absolutely.
Good. Now,
excellent.
So we started reading about this yesterday, and it's something called Scrotal Lift surgery. Now, I did read that there are certain cases in which men have to have things done down there due to injury or illness. I totally get that. But this has also become apparently a what's the word I'm looking for? A volunteer procedure.
Cosmetic.
Vanity.
Cosmetic vanity.
For vanity.
So
tell us.
One that people elect for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now, are you do you mind if I ask, have you had this done?
No, I haven't, but I guess I don't know. I'm, as it says in there, I'm not that having 6 children would qualify me at all for having had any rigors of childbirth that has resulted in gravity taking over, but no, it's certainly something that I wouldn't poo-poo and not perhaps
down the road
to regain my former youth.
Do you? I have 7 children, Roger. So you really do have 6?
Yeah, I've got 6.
That's you're considered a freak the way I am then.
Well, there's different reasons you're considered a freak.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. You're a freak.
All one woman. No, I'm a happy dad. So.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm a very happy dad. There are several women involved. I can't really discuss.
There's the big difference. He had his in his 30s,
and so Roger. Can you, in semi-delicate, radio-friendly terms, discuss what a scrotal lift encompasses?
You bet, sure. Well, it's really probably not too different to what many Americans are probably very familiar with anyway. More than the stiff sort of upper British lip that perhaps, given where we are in southern England, just below London, in sort of in Kent, so the Garden of England, a beautiful area. But perhaps that wouldn't be expected in such an area, and perhaps in a place that was more attuned to having vanity procedures. And I stress that they're not all vanity, but in the U.S., obviously, all you guys are used to having things done down below from a very young age. British people and Europeans naturally don't normally have that unless there's a medical need. So I guess in America it should be perhaps more second nature.
Are you referencing circumcision?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The turtleneck.
You guys have more done down there than us. So I guess we've just handed over the
Well,
baton.
Roger, there's a lot to work with here in the States.
Sure.
It's a genetic, luck of the draw. Who is your who's your typical client or patient?
Well, many of them are surprisingly young, in fact. So
Really?
they're not all old guys that, as we age, unfortunately, a cruel side of nature is that whereas our ears grow and so does our scrotum, it sort of get more saggy, that the rest of our genitals don't. They, in fact, shrink. So you kind of get one going smaller and the scrotum getting baggier and larger.
Oh, so it's is it a visual thing then that it's?
But yes, for many people. I mean, but it's not just a vanity thing. So that people can range from people in their late 20s, 30s, and then obviously, people of later on in their years. But it's not. I just stress that it's not just for the oldies that are out there. It's actually surprisingly for quite a large amount of younger men too.
How long does I read that it was an outpatient procedure, took an hour. Is that correct?
It's really simple, actually. So obviously, nature intended that our tackle down there keeps cool. We don't want to affect sperm production at all. So and those muscles in our scrotum, and they deal with managing that. So they loosen and tighten as it gets cold. You've got a cold front going through there, I think where you were at, and you got going up into the 80s and 90s, and so as those temperature changes, so does that need to regulate that. We're not messing around with that bit there. The surgeons are very particular. We're just dealing with getting rid of the excess skin.
Okay, so I real quick question. So what you're saying is we could do have a meteorologist. They could
check that. Yes,
they could check that. We now go to Don Stuck in the meteorological wing. According to his sack, it looks like we're gonna have some pretty cool weather today.
I measured during high humidity.
That's funny. So it's basically just getting rid of some excess flesh there. 'Cause I kind of assumed it was only for older guys. This article said there was also a clinic in Santa Monica that did laser stuff to get rid of the wrinkles,
That's more of a facial for your beanbag, really. That's to sort of get rid of pigmentation and smooth out some of the lines. But
my contention, Roger, maybe you'll agree with me. Is this because of the so-called selfies, in which people are doing the sexting and they're taking pictures of it and they're not pleased with because
that's it.
I, for one, don't really care how it looks.
This is one George Clooney was talking about.
That's right.
Yes.
Do you think it's because
he was quoting a joke?
Yeah, he's a big
Yeah,
fan
I think he was kidding. But do you think it's because of sexting and people sending inappropriate, intimate photographs across the internet and stuff?
I don't think so. I think whenever we treat a client that comes in, yes, sometimes they're not happy with the way they look, and some of them are just very cursory kind of things that they just are. If I could change it, well, I would, and if I can, I'll go ahead and do that. Others of them have much deeper emotional issues, though, and we seldom treat a client that hasn't really got an emotional ailment too, and some of these things really hold people back in their relationships. I've seen men that have incredibly large scrotums. I guess that's nothing to be proud of in seeing it, but we do see that come through the clinic.
Really?
We treated one not long ago, and it was really large.
Well, no, wait a minute. Now, how big was it? Like a watermelon, or
eggplant?
like a cantaloupe? Or?
He had plenty of excess skin there. Just too much. Too much.
Yeah.
It was like a mini little parachute for a mouse. So it was just too. It was too much.
Got to buy his socks in threes.
Let me reintroduce our guest. We're talking with Roger Bigwood, and this is really Roger's name. And Roger is the clinical director. And how do you pronounce the name of your clinic, Roger?
Bellevue.
Bellevue. Belle, new word VOU. Bellevue Clinic.
Yeah.
And once again, we're discussing this phenomenon that I was not aware of called scrotal lifting, which is a legitimate medical procedure in which so I guess excess skin is taken. I apologize for this question in advance. Do people ever ask to take the excess skin home with them?
No, I don't think we had a request for that. That would be a first.
It's kind of like when you have extra 2 slices of pizza.
To-go box. You might want to make a little money bag out of it or something. No, I don't know.
Doggy bag.
Make a wallet out of that for me.
Hey, Roger, real quick, I want to apologize
for the whole interview.
You put your tonsils in a jar. You can set your.
There's an old joke, Roger, about the mohel and he does the circumcision and the family takes it home because the guy wants to make a wallet out of it. And then, of course, she says if you rub it, it becomes a suitcase. Yeah. It's a classic guy.
It's hilarious.
No, well, I mean, they call it by many names, but the scrotoplasty is the technical name for it. And people will refer to it. They'll search for scrotal reduction or uplift or tightening. And it really just deals with cutting away that excess skin so that it kind of has the appearance of what it did when you were younger, and it still is able to relax and to cool down just as it needs to, because we don't want to mess with any reproductive function. But it is just to give that the appearance. But equally, people that are involved in a lot of sport, cycling is one. I mean, even as our clothes get more daring, sometimes we can. I'm sure you've perhaps seen the old film. What about something about Mary and the whole Frank and Bean thing in there? Mm-hmm. That's an issue too, and it can get caught in your clothing.
And not to mention in the spokes of a bicycle, that would be.
There too. Yeah. That would be. You don't want that knocking around.
Although it would make it sound like you were driving a Harley for just a couple seconds before you bailed off the bike. Once again, we're speaking with Roger Bigwood. Roger Bigwood is the clinical director of the Bellevue, am I getting it right? Bellevue Clinic? Bellevue Clinic in just south of London. Beautiful part of the world, by the way. I've been there many, many times. I wonder if you've ever met my sister, because she lives right near you.
I don't know. I'm a one-time fan of your show. I mean, and I say one time, I've only ever got to hear your show once.
What was the occasion?
Traveling in Salt Lake of all places.
Oh, great!
And I heard the Camel Toe song, and I loved it. And I broadcasted it everyone back to my. I hope I didn't step over any copyright
that's fine.
stuff.
No, not at all.
The guys in the office, they all loved it years ago. So
one of the funniest, one of the coolest things that ever happened regarding this show is. Someone from the radio station was over in England, and they were actually getting a private tour of the Abbey Road studios, and mentioned what they did for a living and where they did it, and mentioned the Bob and Tom show. And the guy giving the tour while standing in front of John Lennon's piano said,
They knew.
Bob and Tom? You mean Camel Toe Bob and Tom? So we were very flattered.
Reputation precedes you.
Yeah, very flattered. Well, it's been great talking to you, Roger. And
you too.
Congratulations on the 6 kids. How do they play out? Boys, girls? What have you got?
We were blessed with 4 boys. They're odds that I prefer. And then 2 little girls. So 17 all the way through to 5.
Wow.
So I've got a great wife.
Good for you. Well, hey, Roger, maybe I'll meet you someday when I'm over in the UK. Maybe I can go over there for a quick tuck. What'd you bring back from the UK? A lot less sack.
There you go. Well, if we tighten it enough, you might get a free facelift. So,
there you go.
Nice.
Well, Roger, we're going to play Camel Toe for you, Roger.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
actually, I'll tell you what.
That's everything I need.
Why don't you hang on the phone here? I'll have Dean. I'm going to get your address and send you something.
I'm not hanging up.
Thank you, sir. Let me find it. This is one of the classics from the Bob and Tom Band and Orchestra.